Hello guys, I am Terrell and this is Absolutely Studying. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different than our normal study hacks and organizational tips. This one is a little bit on the lines of organization, but instead we are going to do our dream dorm room. I unfortunately was not able to stay on campus for my university career. I lived off campus, but I wish I could have experienced living on campus, and especially the whole act of living in a dorm and having that kind of experience, especially like the decorating, and you see all these pictures of these super aesthetic dorm rooms. And you kind of want one of your own. So today I am going to grant my own wish and build myself my own beautiful dream dorm room that's super aesthetic, super pretty, that I would just love to be in. So the first thing I did was I replaced those dingy carpets with a hardwood floor because I love hardwoods, and hardwoods are just, they go with everything. And same with the exposed brick wall. If I live in an apartment building, I want some exposed brick. I just love the way it looks. It's just my thing. I don't have an excuse for it. It's just what I love. And then I went about promptly building myself a bathroom and a walk-in closet. So I did sacrifice quite a bit of floor space in order to accommodate that walk-in closet and that bathroom, but it was a deal breaker for me not to have one. I really didn't want to change the dimension of the rooms either. I thought that I was already being unfair enough adding my own private bathroom and closet. So I wanted to leave the rest of it as intact as possible. So I didn't change the walls, I didn't change the room, or I didn't change the windows. I just decorated around it for the rest. So the bed I chose, this cute little eco lifestyle bed. I think I try a few swatches here. And I just love that it's got lots of pillows. It has the little throw blanket. I am addicted to those in real life. I have throw blankets all over the place and I'm always like cuddling up with them. And then I chose that desk because it's from the new decorator pack and I loved it. Like from the second I saw it, I just absolutely loved it. I did have a very similar one to it once myself, but no longer. It got old and I had to replace it, but it was not as cute as this one. Mine was, of course, a little IKEA one, but it was not as aesthetic as the one there. And I do love how all of the woods from the Dream Decorator pack do match some of the woods in the Eco Lifestyle pack, so that made me really happy. Next, I added the little sitting area, and my room obviously just has one bed for one occupant, but if you use this room and have a second sim in it, you can always switch it out for a bunk bed, or you can replace that little sitting area for a second bed. For me, I really wanted the sitting area because I love having like another little area just to like sit down, and like your bed is for sleeping, your work area is for working, like your desk is for working. And I wanted to be able to have just another little area where I could just sit down and relax, or if I had a friend over, they weren't forced to like sit on my bed or at the desk. So it was just important for me. If I had a dream dorm, that's exactly how I would design it. So I gave it to myself. Next is my mini fridge and my microwave, which I could not live without. Even as a Sims player, it is so hard to have to leave in order to eat. And there's been a couple of times where I just tried to rely on the kindness of strangers and my roommates acquiring food or wherever they get it from. And sometimes it can get pretty hungry unless you have a fridge that you can borrow some meals and just stash them away for yourself for later. So the other townies don't reliably bring a good supply of food before you get ravenous. So I like to have a fridge so that I can like stash away some of the food before it goes bad. That's me just filling up my tiny little bathroom. So I do not use any CC in here, and I also do not use any mods. So you'll see I didn't use BB Move objects or anything like that. I placed it where it fit. But yeah, just sticking in some lighting. I don't mind those big circles, but I find that they just take up so much space, so I don't generally use them. I like the little tiny ceiling lights just because they're not so obstructive to your view. Like when I have those big ones, that's all I can see is just the great big circle saucer lights, and it's really distracting. Here I am adding my lamp because I love reading before bed or in bed. Reading for fun, that is, like reading for pleasure in bed. I like doing that. And I like doing it in kind of low light, and so it's nice to be able to have just a little light beside the bed, and then you can like turn it off when you're ready to go to sleep instead of having to get up and like make the trek all the way across your room. I know, first world problems. And then also having the extra light on my desk is also super handy. So here I head into the closet and I am trying to build that up. I just wanted to honestly fit as much storage in that closet as I could possibly like jam pack in there. And now that I look at it, I think I forgot to hang clothes in my closet. I was so busy trying to fill it up with little compartments that I literally forgot to hang it. And I was so excited to hang stuff from those boxes. Here I was messing with the tower, like the one tower connected to the box. I wanted to be able to have that. I also ideally wanted to have a second one, but I could not get it to center properly. Like I couldn't move it over to clip to the wall just for whatever reason. You can see I tried to build in the bottom pieces, hoping that if I fill the bottom, it would just clip properly, but no matter what I did, I just could not get it to clip properly. Not without, I'm sure if I would have turned on move objects, then it probably would have worked, but that's just not where I was. I just didn't want to use move objects. So, yeah, I end up giving up and replacing it for another cubby and then switching over to the other side and filling it out. And I'm not disappointed. I just wanted to be able to have some more cupboards, but I just couldn't fit them how I wanted them. Here I moved back out, and this hutch I fell in love with. I actually had one almost identical to it as a kid in my bedroom. Except for mine had like cupboard doors on the front, so it wasn't all open like that. So yeah, I needed it. I saw it. I wanted it. I bought it. And then I went to start building another kind of cupboardy cabinet placement here between the things, because yeah, storage, I just imagined that storage would be so important. It's so important to me now. I love having storage. I love organizing things. I love organized look, and well, I have an entire channel completely surrounding organization and study hacks, so you know that's my thing. But yeah, and now I think I start with the clutter and decorations, which is one of my favorite parts of The Sims. I love designing and decorating things and just filling it with the clutter. It just makes it so lived in. And I think that's probably my favorite part of designing and decorating, is being able to like really fill it up and make it feel like come to life. Like, yeah, it's a pretty room now, but once you start adding like all of the little knickknacks, all of the little personal items, is when it really starts to come to life and it really starts to become yours. So ideally, I had imagined having a laundry basket in here, but then I quickly abandoned that idea because I did not want to have to do laundry while at university, because that just like puts the hard level of university like over the top. I can't imagine having to also have to like do laundry. Oh, my cow plant, the cow plant, I needed it. It was a deal breaker not to have it. And I did want to bring some life into the dorm room. Like I wanted to be able to have a little bit of plants. I think I tried a few more plants around. It'll come a little bit later on. And it was just a little hard. Oh, here's my twinkly lights. I definitely would love to have some twinkly fairy lights. I just think it would be so nice to sit in my dorm room here that I just decorated on the couch, like reading a book or a magazine with like a nice face mask on after a long day of classes with all of the lights off except for my little twinkly lights. Like I just think that that would be so calming and so soothing, assuming that, you know, there's not a raging party out in the hallway while this is happening. So yeah, now I'm just adding some more little storage, some more little spaces. I was surprised that these big boxes fit into that little cubby because you could actually see them popping up into the second space where I already had a basket. So I had to move them and replan that out. But I just took them into my walk-in closet that nobody else has because I am so incredibly special. And stuck them in there. So yeah, I would obviously need a lot of room for my books. If you have been following me for a while, you know that I have a special system using a shelf that I use to kind of keep track of my homework and my books and the work that I'm working on. So I decided to use that hutch over there to kind of demonstrate that. And yeah, now I'm just putting in, of course, all of my hair stuff, and because curly hair takes a lot of hair products, and moving in some more books, moving in some more clutter, just filling up the room because, yeah, here I was actually having trouble. I wanted to fit things on the top shelf there, but they wouldn't clip. And again, I could have solved that by using the move objects, but I didn't. Oh, here is my laptop, my trusted laptop. I take it everywhere, but of course it has its own home on top of my desk. And here's where I was adding the plants, and I just wanted to add a little bit more greenery. So I think I add this bottled plant, which I think is just, it's so cute. Like they have really been stepping up their game as like with the Sims team as far as designing like clutter and little personal elements lately. I do remember that I forgot to add curtains, and so I do add them later on in the after, and you'll be able to see them in the screenshots. And so now I will let you enjoy those. Don't forget to head down to the description and pick up my free study planner, or head over to my website, www.absolutelystudying.com, for more free, useful resources and articles. And now let's head into the screenshots.